Hey guys, welcome to another episode of H2O. So some pretty serious things happening in today's market, huh, Mario?
Dude, it scares me, man. Like cyber attacks and stuff. I think that's what scares me the most. It's crazy.
Mario, Expeditors was attacked. So
Yeah.
now they have hundreds of people on this trying to reverse what was done. And not only that, but one of the articles that was mentioned that I'll post a link below, actually says that this can take Expeditors up to a year to get back to where they were before this hack.
Well, and think about who their clients are, right? That's immediately what came to my mind. They're delivering to Target, Walmart, Home Depot, right? A lot of these massive retailers, and I was thinking like, wow, how is that going to affect us when we see things in stores, or is that going to further increase pricing locally? I think it's pretty wild.
Mario, it's gonna completely explode. This is a perfect storm for the clusterfuck we're about to go into. I'm gonna tell you something, Mario. I've been preaching this and preaching this. Now, are you a little bit afraid? Because I believe you're all paperless.
We are, and honestly, the biggest thing when I read the first Expeditors report was, I immediately said, okay, what are we doing? Let's look at what we're doing. First off, I mean, the biggest thing for us, I mean, since we're a smaller company, we run on AWS servers, which is the Amazon servers. We're using the Google Business Suite, right? So what I always think is that, at least that's my approach, is have the biggest company host your server and your data, because I feel like there's a much smaller chance of them getting hacked than you doing, building your own little servers in your house or something. Many times people think like that's safer, but it really isn't, right? The big companies have a full-time team that prevent them of getting hacked, So obviously I have hope in that. And the second thing is that I split our data, right? So we have half of our data with AWS, we have half of our data with the Google servers, right? And they crisscross each other, right? So if one is down, it moves over to the other, and vice versa, And the other thing that we're still doing is our operating system has the ability to download a save file, so to speak, right? So, and we do that every night, right? Because one of my old companies I worked for, we had a cyber attack, and we had an update that was like 3 or 4 weeks old, right? So it was really hard to then recreate and go back on all these things, where for us, we do it every night, right? So if we get hacked tonight, right, it's really like wiping the system. You just click the upload thing, right? And we're back in business, and you would only lose data overnight. And hopefully by 5 p.m., whatever you saved in the system, there shouldn't have been much changes going from that, right? But then on top of that, we still save a lot of our like attachments and so on. We still save separately on our Google Drive, right? So that, and we still maintain a Google Sheet. And everybody is driving me nuts in my company saying, why do you have to still do this, right? Because if something happens, at least you have an Excel with all your shipments on it. So at least you can say, okay, this is the next things I got to do. When everything is just in the system, I'm just not quite ready for that yet, to just say, hey, I have everything in the system and that's it.
And it's funny because we've talked so much about upgrading in logistics in respect to technology and how important technology is, and blockchain, crypto. I know we're going way out there, but these are all things to do to protect yourselves for cyber wars or cyber attacks, because as it's been mentioned in the news numerous times here in the last few hours and day, 24 hours, is that we have to be prepared. So just make sure that that's going to be the new art of war, is going to be cyber attacks. So we got to be very careful. Backup VPNs, contact if you're on Microsoft Outlook, make sure you have all your backup stuff. So just be prepared. That's the most important thing to be prepared.
And some stuff locally saved, right? I mean, that's probably the biggest advice I can give you, because obviously we have so much data in the cloud, but it's really good to actually don't save it if you have a Mac or if you have a Windows computer. Don't save it in your OneShare or OneDrive. And for Mac users, don't save it in your iCloud. actually put it on your local drive, because I think hackers still have a much harder time. They normally attack servers, not personal computers, right? So for us, it's like having that data safe on someone's personal computer, and it's basically overwritten every night, right? So we only keep it for 24 hours on the computer, then we save another version of it, and we just keep doing that, right? And so really save it on a local drive or computer that, and best idea, is not connected to the internet. That is the safest thing. All our cyber attack experts that we work with, right? They're saying, if you really want to be safe, use a computer, run it back up, unplug it from the Wi-Fi, and or turn the Wi-Fi off, so the computer is not connected to the internet. That's the only way to really keep your data safe.
I got 2 words for you, Mario. Cold storage. Simple. Cold storage. So, hey, not only that, but something that's also getting me a little bit concerned, which I'm trying to, wrap my head around, is our ports and our ramps are all in trouble, because if that whole thing goes down, if that gets all hacked, we're in big problems. And we're in for something new. This is definitely a new era.
And I gotta say, Mitch, I'm really curious on how safe these systems are, because I feel like they're having such a tough time keeping up with technology, which I'm curious if they're also having a tough time keeping up with cybersecurity.
I'm sure. And what's really nice is the CEO of Hack Labs, White Hack Labs, is going to be on the show hopefully next week to discuss a little bit more about how to prevent cyber attacks and how to prepare yourself internally against some of these things. And what's really interesting is, now, not only is this war causing a big problem with cyber attacks, but this war is also causing a little bit of another bit of discomfort. Fuel. Let's talk about fuel, Mario. Let's talk about fuel. That's going to hurt us here in the domestic arena and all over. But the steamship lines are ready, because their fuels are going to go up, bunkers going up, more profits to be made. Mario, a perfect storm.
Well, I don't know if more profit's going to be made, though, right? Because, generally speaking, ocean carriers could lose money in the short term, actually, on bunkers, right? Because, their bunker fuel might go up right now, but they can't push an increase to the customer for another 30 days or so, right?
They can't. Here's the thing. There is certain aspects of war clause, you must read in some of these contracts.
Yeah.
If war goes up, and there are certain aspects of war and what considers war, and certain fuel prices go up, that could be passed down to the consumer. So that's something that we need to look into, and as well.
I was just going to say, I remember back in the early 2000s where we had multiple destinations that actually had a war risk, right? Which I hadn't seen in years, right? Yep. But now imagine where Russia is located, right? Such a big country, right? So, I mean, it butts up to China. So who knows? Maybe shipping to northern China will require a war risk surcharge at some point, right? Who knows, right? I really feel bad for, obviously, the people that are involved in all this, and obviously for me, coming from Germany, and we're fairly close to Russia, right? And we are getting about 50% of our natural gas from Russia, right? So this is why, for us in Germany, the politicians are saying, hey, we got to do sanctions and this and that, right? But, I don't know how big of an impact that really has, So, but yeah, fuel prices are going up. And I read an article yesterday, actually, which I thought was surprising to me, that a lot of the fuel in the United States is now imported again, where I always thought, like, they found all this oil in North Dakota and all these places, that I thought that the US is more or less just using their own fossil fuels and their own oil. But apparently that's not the case right now. So it will definitely affect
us. At all, Mario. I will tell you now, and I'm not a political person, but the current administration shit the bed completely. They put a stop to all of the production here in the United States. The day our administration started, the Keystone Pipeline was closed. So yeah, it's something that we cause ourselves, man. It's unbelievable how how we go backwards on so many aspects. And my biggest concern is really the logistics industry, because we have this issue of inflation, Mario, this thing of inflation that people did not believe, that I was telling them they're going to see inflation like they've never seen. We're at like 7.5%. We're over 7% inflation. That is incredible. And now you're going to say that increasing of prices at the tanks, which is how people get to work. Thank God we do, a lot of this hybrid working, but the cost of fuel, the cost of food, I'm sorry, but this country, our beautiful country, the United States, is getting destroyed. The middle class, get ready, because there is a steamroller about to roll over with these rates. And not only that, but these truckers are definitely going to be paying in the pump, and that cost is going directly to you. Let your customers know fuel is going up, and that will affect more your rates. So I had to vent
Absolutely.
there.
I mean, as you know, I'm in Southern California. I filled up my small BMW yesterday for $5.15 a gallon.
Electric, baby. Gotta go electric. So
yeah. Oh, I know. I'm not. I still like that big V8. I'm not quite ready to do that yet. Yeah.
But this is crazy. I mean, we got to make sure everybody's prepared out there. Be diligent and be prepared, guys. Also, feel free to reach out to myself or Mario if you have any questions on programs or products to prevent cyber attacks. Also, we can give you contacts to Mr. Pasha that can also give you some information on how to avoid any type of cyber attacks. Guys, be ready, be prepared, and be informed. Right, Mario? Anything else?
Absolutely, man. Yeah, let's just talk about one thing that we want to talk about next week, except the cyber stuff, right?
Absolutely.
The other one that I'm really excited about, I talked to one of my buddies who's a longshoreman down here in Long Beach, and the contracts are about to be up, in about 4 months, and
Mario,
that kind of snuck up on me, and all what I'm saying is, man, the ocean carriers are making a lot of money right now, and they didn't used to, right? And I don't know when the last big strike was. I think it's about 8 years ago, if I remember correctly. And man, what a shit show that was, and what it slowed down the port. And now I can only imagine, with volume at an absolute peak, those unions have a lot of power, and it scares me a little bit on the supply chain, especially for LA Long Beach.
Yep. Be ready. The ILA runs the ports. I don't care what anyone says. The ILA runs the ports. The ILA stops working those ports, you can't find people quick enough. And not only that, but if you dare to go and work on the ports while the ILA is on strike, it's dangerous. It would be very dangerous and very risky. But Mario, a lot of stuff going on. I'm really excited. Let's keep on this. And let's look forward to your contact to join us on the show and talk about what's going on.
Yeah, absolutely, man. It will be interesting.
What's happening? Thanks, Mario.